Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I apologise for the bad lighting in my car. I hope you can see me okay. So I've not done a video in ages, not since like before Christmas, and I think that's really just, well, we had Christmas, we had New Year. I've been busy with work, with my training, and to be honest, anorexia is kind of just not really featured that much. It's been very much in the background, and I've just been getting on with living my life, which I think is a good thing. But I wrote a blog this week about, which I'll put the link down in the description box, about the Anorexic Voice. So I thought I would do a vlog about it, because often, well, not often, virtually everything I have heard people with anorexia talk about is that they hear this anorexic voice, that anorexia speaks to them, and anorexia saying, oh, you know, if you eat that, you're going to gain weight if you don't exercise or whatever. It's anorexia saying, you are this, you are that, you need to do this, you need to do that. And that's the kind of the only sort of experience of anorexia that I ever hear about. But for me, it has never been like that. I have never, ever experienced anorexia as this voice talking to me. So I thought I would do a vlog about my experiences of anorexia, in case, you know, there's anyone else out there who hasn't experienced this anorexic voice. Because I know for myself, because I didn't hear this anorexic voice, because I didn't have this anorexia talking to me, I thought, you know, many, many years ago, it meant I couldn't possibly have anorexia because everybody speaks about hearing this anorexic voice, but I don't hear this voice, so how can I have anorexia? And then that also then made me think, oh my God, you know, I'm failing at having anorexia. I'm not good enough at anorexia because I don't have this voice. And actually, you know, over the years, I then realised that actually, you know, I do have anorexia despite not hearing this anorexic voice. And, you know, it doesn't mean you're not anorexic or anything like that. So for me, as I say, I've never heard this anorexic voice. I've never had this voice in my head saying, you need to lose weight, you know, you're disgusting, you're this, you're that. It has always just been my own head. They've been my thoughts. It's been, I am fat, I need to lose weight, I need to do this, I need to do that. It was never ever like anorexia speaking to me. And particularly when I was very unwell, like many years ago when I was in hospital, I think kind of myself and anorexia were all encompassed into one. You know, there was no differentiation between myself and anorexia. It was like I was anorexia. You know, if my head said, you're fat, you need to eat less, that was just what I did. You know, those were my thoughts. That was what I did. It wasn't this voice saying, you're fat, you need to lose weight. But then as I started into recovery, I never heard a voice. I've never heard a voice. But I did start to experience anorexia slightly differently from it just being totally my thoughts, and I did what my thoughts told me to. In that I started to be able to recognise when I had my own Beck's thoughts and when I had my own anorexic thoughts. They were always still my thoughts. They were still I's, not you's. But it was like my brain was, I had two parts to my brain. I had my Beck's brain and my anorexic brain. So, you know, if I was thinking, oh, I shouldn't eat that because it's too many calories, I was then able to think, oh, that's my anorexic brain thinking. And then I was able to start arguing against the anorexic brain with my Beck's brain. But it was all still very, very much my own head and never a voice. And it was actually through starting to be able to differentiate my Beck's thoughts to my anorexic thoughts that actually really helped me start on recovery, because I was able to start arguing with my anorexic brain rather than just my anorexic brain completely taking over and saying, you need to eat less, so I would eat less, or whatever it was, you know, my brain was saying. But yeah, it has never ever been a voice. And, you know, if you don't hear an anorexic voice, then that's totally okay. If you do hear a voice, or if you like to call it like a voice, then that's fine. Do what works for you. But my experience is I've never had a voice talking to me. And that also made me feel, you know, when I was quite unwell, that I was a really horrible person, because I thought, you know, everybody else with anorexia is behaving in the way that they do, is thinking how they do, is feeling how they do, because they have this voice telling them to do these things. And I thought, but I don't have this voice telling me to do these things. It's just me. It is me doing these things. And that must make me a really evil, horrible person, because I'm not being forced to by this voice. It's just me. So yeah, that was quite difficult to get my head around, which is again why I want to do this video, to show that, you know, anorexia, eating disorders are not choices, regardless of whether you hear it as a voice or not. So that was kind of, as I say, when I was quite unwell, I struggled to get my head around that. And even now, you know, being much further into recovery, there may be times where I find my anorexic brain saying, oh, you know, maybe I shouldn't have that for breakfast, maybe I should have something else. And I'd be like, no, come on, you know, that's your eating disorder thought, ignore it, move on, do the opposite, which I would do. But as I say, these like arguments, conversations in my head are conversations I'm having with myself. I'm not arguing with an external voice. You know, I'd be like, oh, I should restrict. Yeah, but that's not really the right answer. But it might make you feel better. Yeah, but so it's like I. It's always I. It might make me feel better. It might There's no yous. You should do this. You should do that. And that's what I think an anorexic voice is like. It's someone saying you should. And because I've read a lot of like anorexia autobiographies, memoirs, whatever you want to call them, and they virtually all talk about this anorexic voice. And as I say, it's never been a voice for me. It's never been something speaking to me. And so, yeah, that's just this video. As I say, I've written a blog about it if you want to read it. A bit of a ramble, I suppose. But yeah, I'd love to hear your experiences of the anorexic voice, whether you have it, whether you don't. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope to be a bit more regular in my vlogs at the moment. So yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want to. And thank you. Bye.